Alrighty. So we're looking at the lesson for 6.11 today, and this is compare and contrasting. So this is probably not a new concept, but we're just going to touch on it in review because some authors will use this in their writing, and sometimes you are asked to compare and contrast different ideas or topics. So when you compare two things, you're focusing on the ways that those two things are alike or similar. So the way that you write that is you use words like both, similar, or similarly, or alike, or the same. So we can see we've got a couple pictures of twins. Here you might recognize those middle twins from a creepy movie. When you're contrasting those things, you focus on what is different about those two things. So you might use words like on the one hand or another, one, the other. You might say opposite, this is different. Some of the differences between these two ideas are. So those are some of the signal words that you will use. Let's practice. Okay, so this is where you're going to click on your slide. We're on slide 41. And we're going to practice comparing and contrasting. We're going to start with apples and bananas. Okay. How are apples and bananas alike? How are they similar? So both apples and bananas, what? Type a couple things in here. What are they? So how are they alike? Oh, you deleted your response. Well, let's start with the big ones. They're both foods, right? Yes, they're fruits. Thank you. They're both food, and more specifically, they're both fruit. What else? So because they're fruit, what other similarities might they share? Okay, some of you are still struggling to make these comparisons. Yeah, they both taste sweet. They both taste delicious with peanut butter. Also, their colors could be similar depending on the apple. Some apples are kind of yellow or kind of green, and sometimes bananas are kind of green. Right? What about where do they grow? What do they grow on? In Washington, you're probably more likely to say, to know what an apple looks like. We don't have a lot of banana trees around here, but they both grow on trees. Yeah, they both give you energy. They both have sugar. They're both a great snack. Am I making you hungry? I think I'm making myself hungry. Did we get another one? Yeah, they're sweet and they're fruits. Okay, so these are some things of why they're similar. So this is our comparison. We're comparing how they're similar. Now, let's contrast this. How are they different? I changed this a little bit. So how are these two fruits different from each other? So you could say something like apples are blank, but bananas have blank. Or apples have blank and bananas are blank. So what are some differences between apples and bananas? Okay, let's talk about some differences. So their shapes are different. Apples are a bit more round. Bananas are longer and skinnier. Yes. Some apples are red, whereas bananas are mostly always yellow. Yeah. Their texture is different. And a student in another class pointed out they have different textures. They also grow in very different environments. Bananas need a warmer climate. When I was in the Dominican Republic, was probably the first time I ever saw like a bunch of banana trees. So I saw a field of banana trees, and I was like, whoa. They look very different. They're funny looking plants. Okay, now let's do another way of comparing and contrasting. Okay. You can compare and contrast using a Venn diagram. So this is called a Venn diagram, and it's where you contrast on the outside and you compare on the inside. So we're going to take McDonald's and Burger King. Okay, so McDonald's is the red and Burger King is the yellow. So what are some qualities that are unique about each of those? And then what do they share in the middle? It could even be easier to start in the middle. What do McDonald's and Burger King have going on that are similar? You can drop it in the chat. You can type it in here. So in the middle here, how are McDonald's and Burger King similar? What are they? Yeah, they both sell burgers and fries. Absolutely. They are both also considered fast food. So what you want to do is click on slide 43 and now type in what is different or unique to McDonald's. What does McDonald's have that Burger King doesn't? And then on the other side, what does Burger King have that McDonald's does not? So I'll give you a minute to fill that out. Okay, so what do we have that's different? Like, what do you go to McDonald's for as opposed to Burger King? If I go to McDonald's, I like their chicken nuggets. But Burger King has chicken fingers or chicken fries. I'm not into that. I don't like that. So I like McDonald's chicken nuggets. Other things that McDonald's has going on, they have McFlurries. Like their Shamrock McFlurry, if that's the type of gross, delicious thing you're into. I had a lot of those in high school. Not so much right now, but back in the day. But Burger King, they've got onion rings. They have like slushies. Don't they have like some Mountain Dew, or is that just like Taco Bell? That might just be Taco Bell. They have some different things. I think they also have like a chocolate cheesecake, right? I'm definitely making you guys hungry now, right? So they're both fast food restaurants. They both serve burgers and fries, but they do it a little bit different way. Burger King has the Whopper. McDonald's has the Big Mac, and they have different specials throughout the years. You can also get a crown at Burger King. I mean, come on. So, this is also a good way when you contrast things is to think about different viewpoints. So what fast food restaurant do you prefer and why? But somebody else may have another point of view and they might think Burger King is the best. They might not like either of them and prefer to go to the Ritz so that they can get like fish and chips. So this is something to consider as part of that conversation of comparing and contrasting, is looking at other people's viewpoints. Okay, so pretty short lesson here. What we're doing now is I want you to take the 611 quiz and go back and take the 6-8 quiz if you didn't do that yesterday. Okay, so stop it here. We'll pause and take the 611 quiz.